Welcome to Toot Your Own Horn Music Matters. Today we are here with Duke Smith-Holley. So happy to see you.
Great to be here. Awesome opportunity.
I am very excited for you to tell your story about how you chose your instrument.
When I was young, I always wanted to be a musician. That was always something I wanted to do. My parents, though we didn't have a lot of money, my parents put me into piano lessons when I first got started with music. For some reason, I didn't really enjoy it. I just found it was boring for me. I've always been someone that likes to work with my hands, even from a young child. That's just something I've always been. But I remember going to my grandparents in some of the bigger cities, and they used to take me to the music stores because I wanted to be a musician, right? That's where you take somebody.
Right.
So I went to the bigger music stores, and I remember walking around the store and thinking, oh, pianos, guitars, wasn't really my thing. But then I walked past the saxophones, and I thought, wow, what a cool looking instrument. That's something that I'd like to play one day. Unfortunately, we didn't have a lot of money, and seeing the price tag was kind of scary at the time.
Right.
And my parents and grandparents thought the same. So, I sort of put the dream in the back of my mind. I continued singing. I've been singing since I was probably 5. Continued doing that until I got to high school. And then, thankfully, they have rental instruments at high school. And I think at the time they were like $100 for the whole year to rent the instrument, which, even for a relatively poor family, $100 is affordable to play an instrument. I remember saying to the music teacher, I want to play the saxophone. And he says, well, I haven't got any altos left, so you're going to have to play the tenor. And I said, well, I'm only little. I can't really play the tenor saxophone. And he says, go on, man, you can play it. So he pulls out this tenor saxophone and he says, well, that's all we've got left. So you're lucky. That's the one that you get to play. So that was really cool. I started playing on the tenor saxophone, made all sorts of squeaky, funny noises as you do when you first got started, but it didn't take me long to get into playing the saxophone. And in fact, to this day, I prefer being a tenor player. So my music teacher was right at the time. It became my thing. I do play the alto saxophone now, of course. One of my inspirations was Brian Travers from UB40. They were one of my favorite bands sort of growing up. And I just love the way that he played. It sort of had like a real growl to his sound, but also it was kind of interesting having a saxophone player in the reggae band. It was different. It was something that I found really interesting. And the fact that he was semi-self-taught, kind of like I was. I had a saxophone teacher, but we only got lessons for 30 minutes a week. And that's kind of, it was hard. It was hard to learn that way. But thankfully, I had a really good teacher as well. So in that time, he was able to help me to sort of shape my sound and learn the basics of the saxophone. And then I continued all through high school with him as my teacher. So that was obviously an awesome opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sort of learned to play the saxophone a little bit by ear, kind of like I did with the piano when I was younger. But I also then got really good at transcribing all of the saxophone lines from what Brian Travers was playing. So I got really good at that, at transcription, which then helped me to learn to read and play music properly. That was really cool. I guess at the end of high school, it was kind of neat because the music teacher said, well, you played the same saxophone all through high school. Do you want to purchase the thing? And I think he charged me like $400 or some, it wasn't very much by the end. He said, well, you've played it for the last 5 years. You may as well buy it. So I've still got the instrument today. It plays okay, surprisingly. Yeah, it certainly wasn't a very expensive instrument, but I've been able to play it quite a bit over the years. And I guess when it comes to repairing saxophones now, I realized that it took too long to get your instrument fixed in New Zealand at all.
Mm-hmm.
You'd wait, 3, 4, 5, 6 months to get your instrument back, which sadly is quite common. Even to this day, it's still pretty much the same in many places. And it was just too long to ship your instrument off and not have an instrument for, any more than a month is too long, really.
Right.
I decided that, well, my first thought was it can't be that hard to learn how to repair instruments. I was wrong, of course.
Did you go on to school to study saxophone? Or?
I continued to play in covers bands after high school. I'd play in concert bands and orchestras and things like that. Just really whoever I had met along the way through high school. They sort of, oh no, I'm playing in this group now. Do you want to come and play? And I play with them, and then you get to learn pretty quickly how to cover the horn lines and to make it sound sort of like the original, but also you get to put your own flair with that. So I did that for quite a few years, and
You had a regular job. In other words, it was something you did on the side, or it was how you made money.
yeah, no, something I did on the side. I worked as a audio technician since I was 15. So I sort of did that, and whenever people wanted me to go and play for them, I'd make a little bit of cash on the side, and it was really enjoyable. Playing in the various covers bands, but it wasn't enough to actually survive on. It was really just cash every weekend sort of thing. It wasn't quite enough, so I kept doing the sound thing. I still do that today. I'm still a sound technician. It's something I've done for many years, and I quite enjoy it. So I guess it sort of parallels with music anyway, because I'm able to help the other bands that come through to actually help them to sound really good.
Yeah. And along the way, then you decided that you wanted to learn instrument repair, and that's how you and I met because you came through our classes.
Yeah, absolutely. That was really neat. I'd done my job for such a long time, and then I decided, well, I wanted to learn how to repair instruments. And, I spent some time on YouTube and, talking to different people, but you don't get very far. So I discovered, and then obviously I saw your ad come up, learn instrument repair online, and I thought, well, that's that's me. I'm definitely I want to be part of that, which is cool. I was sort of looking around at the time for the different repair schools across the world, and there's a few across the United States, but I thought, gee, I'm gonna have to travel. This is gonna be, it's a big change. I had just got married at the time. Yeah, I was just so busy, and I really wanted to travel to learn this craft, but I just couldn't. And then obviously, your programs were offered online, so that was cool. I was able to relax, and I don't have to travel. I was able to learn at home here in New Zealand. Though it was quite early in the morning, the classes, but it's better than having to move, even if it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right. Right. That's for sure. Yes. And now you're doing both. Now you have an instrument repair shop, and you also play, and you also do audio.
Yeah, yep. No, I do do a bit of everything. It's quite a busy lifestyle to live, but I think I learnt to repair the saxophone with the classes, and I'm super grateful that I had the opportunity to do so, and all of your help as well. With the business side, I was very very shy. I still am, but and I sort of knew nothing about business because I'd just been working a job. It was really awesome to have your help with that, and to learn how to approach people and work with people to help them. I'm offering a service that helps them, but I was too shy to even share that. So now I spend between 20 and 30 hours a week repairing saxophones, and it sort of amazed me. I thought, oh, maybe one a month based on what I knew in the area. There wasn't really that many saxophone players, I thought, but well, they keep coming. It's amazing how many people I've met and that actually have saxophones just in my local area. It's incredible. There's been people that have come, oh, it's been sitting, for 10 years because I did my nursing degree and now I want to pick up my instrument again. I couldn't tell you how many times I've heard that story. Children that, oh, my granddad passed down the saxophone and I was able to fix it up for them. And I think my whole thing is about getting people to really love music again. It became a real passion of mine. And most of the people that come and see me have that same sort of vision as well, is that they really want to play their instrument, but it's in sort of a state of disrepair. And some of them have been really bad and some of them not so bad. Everyone's opinion of where their instrument is different, but I always try to offer really affordable pricing as well. Some of the time it depends on who they are. Sometimes they'll get a really big discount just because I want them to have a good playing instrument, and they always come back. You make your money later, but it's not about making money for me. It's about having people playing really good instruments, and I've got other customers that must have did a really good job because I haven't seen them in 2 years.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you ring them and, oh, how's your saxophone going? It's, oh no, it's still playing just fine. It's, well, you really should come and see me just in case. But
Right. That is the
um,
problem, teaching people what is them and what is their instrument, and the only way they can do that is by talking and seeing a technician.
yeah, 100%. It's amazing. Like it really becomes, you become an educator as a technician. You're not just someone that fixes the instruments and out the door. I like to actually have conversations now, quite a ton of events from when I first started being really sort of shy, is now when they come in the shop, I want to make sure that they're totally happy with the instrument. I want to hear their story. I want to see how I can help them improve with music. And sometimes people will ask, "Oh, well, do you know anybody that teaches the saxophone? I'd really like to get better." Yeah, sure, I can put you in touch with these people. Or other ones is like, well, I'm moving to a different city. What am I going to do when I'm there? And I'll put them in touch with another technician. And it's sort of just a big family, really, of musicians, and just helping people to love music, which, I mean, music means everything to me. It totally has changed my life. And just to, whenever I've had a really bad day, to pick up my saxophone and play, that's something that I really enjoy. And some people just don't know how important music is. It can really turn a bad day into a really good day, and can totally change your life, whether it's to make money out of it or not. It's something that makes the world go round, really.
If somebody was listening to this podcast and was really interested in your story, what would you tell them to play a wind instrument right now?
I think you need to just get started. It's really important to do whatever you can to get a wind instrument, because I absolutely love it, and it's not as hard as people think to get started. It is difficult to become a professional and to be really good at it, but like with anything, you just have to practice. You need to get started somewhere, and it will bring absolute joy to your life just by being able to pick up a musical instrument and to play it, even if you squeak at the start. We all were there, but it really is just so awesome. I love music, and it's really important for everyone. I wish everyone could pick up a musical instrument. I think the world would be a much better place, and everyone would be considerably happier if everyone played a musical instrument. I certainly know that.
Why do you think that is?
I just think it's an opportunity to express yourself, but also music in general is a happy thing. Even with blues music, even though the sort of the background and the story behind it, and jazz and all of the different styles of music, I think that it just brings joy to your life. And the fact that you can do something different sometimes for people is really good. A lot of people work really boring jobs that they don't quite enjoy, but if you can go home and play a musical instrument, it gives you meaning and purpose to your life.